Hello. Okay, so in your notes, this is what we've done so far. Here's all the time stuff, and then here is the historian, archaeologist, anthropologist thing. Okay, so prehistory. Okay, the period of prehistory is like date-wise crazy. I don't even know. It's like 9,000 years or something. I think it's actually more than that, but who cares? Um, pre means what? Before. So prehistory is the time before history, right? Well, that doesn't make any sense. You're right, it doesn't, because that's not what prehistory means. Prehistory means the time before writing. It's all about writing. See, when you can write down something, I don't question it. When you write down, today on July 6th, 2020, I blah, 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 blah. I know exactly what you did that day and I don't question it. Could people throughout history have lied? Yes. Yes. Kids ask that every year. But when it's written down, we go with it. Okay? We don't guess. I say that. We will actually talk about some stuff like throughout this year. We will actually talk about some stuff that people wrote down and we will kind of like discuss whether or not we really believe what they're writing, like their intentions and stuff like that. So we will do some of that still. But if there's no writing in a civilization at all, we put it into the prehistory category. Okay? We have to guess everything if there's prehistory. Now, prehistory is divided into smaller time periods because, again, we're looking at like 9,000 or something years. Okay, so we have the big ones, the Paleolithic Age, and then we have the Neolithic Age. Okay, look right here. Lithic. Let me do this. Look right here. Lithic means rock, stone. Okay? You see that in both words. Stone. Guys, in both of these time periods, we're looking at stone or bone tools. Stone. We don't have people using iron yet. We don't have people using bronze yet. When you're looking at the Paleolithic and the Neolithic, we're in the Stone Age. Okay? Tools are made out of stone or bone or shells, but no metals yet. Okay? We don't have that technology yet. Alrighty? These two time periods, Paleolithic and Neolithic, even though we're still using stone tools in both, and even though in neither one we have no writing, okay, something drastic happened in the Neolithic period. Look, you can see it right here. A change in how people lived. Something so drastic happened that we do talk about these being in two separate time periods, okay? Because everybody's life changed because of something. And I'll get there, but everything changed. So right here, when you look at these words again, paleo means old. Great grandma is paleo. Some of you will look at me and say, dang, you're paleo, miss. Paleo is old. Neo means new. Oh, sorry. So this Paleolithic is the old Stone Age. Neolithic is the new Stone Age. Okay, so Paleolithic first, the Old Stone Age. With the Old Stone Age, again, we're using stone tools. Okay, and predominantly people are hunter gathering nomads. That should be the easiest vocab word you have all year. Hunter gathering nomads. Well, they hunt, they gather, and they're nomadic. Boom. That's it. Primarily, the men hunt food, meat, animals. Primarily, the women gather berries, plants, stuff like that. And then they're nomadic, which means they roam around. Why do they roam around? Because it's fun? They're following the animals. They're following animals. Now, guys, these hunter gathering nomads, even though they roamed their whole life, they mostly stayed in like a 10-mile area. They didn't go and visit things on vacation. They didn't just pick up and leave for no reason. They mostly stayed in a particular area. Okay. Maybe they went 2 miles farther north than they used to. And then their kids went 2 more miles north. And then their kids went 5 miles north because they're following the animals as the animals are moving. Are you following? Okay, look. We have our continents. Oops, I shouldn't have done that. Here we go. You better be answering these. If you feel stupid, do it in your head. That's okay. What's this one? I'm not telling you the answers. What's this one? You have a test coming real quick, probably 2 or 3 days. What's this one? What's this one? What's this monster one? And what's this little one? What about the oceans? What's this ocean? Ocean? What's this ocean? What's this ocean? Trick question. And what is this sea? Okay. Okay, looking at this map. From a historical, especially prehistory viewpoint, which continent is the most important? Is it North America? Because that's where we live. Duh, it's most important. Is it South America? What about Africa? Or Europe? Kids always say Europe. Or Asia, because that's where civilization began. Or Australia. Or is it Antarctica? Prehistorically speaking, the most important continent. Africa. You're going to kind of notice that throughout the years in prehistory, Africa is the continent. During the Ice Age, Europe, okay, but Africa is the most important. And then, like in early civilizations, Asia. And then as we get later into the medieval period and stuff, and the Renaissance especially, we move to Europe. And then, of course, we kind of become important. So it's kind of everybody at some point, sort of, except Antarctica. Sorry. But why Africa? Why? Guys, you should have learned last year in geography about this right here in Africa, the Great Rift Valley. where you have two plates, this is familiar, right next to each other, pulling apart. One plate is moving this way, and one plate is moving this way, which is creating a rift valley, right? And because of that rift valley, it's incredibly deep. It's one of the deepest places on land, okay, that we can get to. So it's been great for a lot of archaeological digs. Well, guess who has been found here? The oldest humans on Earth. Could we be wrong? And older humans have been found over here. It's just that we can't get that deep into the ground. Yes, we could be wrong. Could we be wrong and the oldest humans were found here and we just haven't got that deep in the ground? Yes. What about Antarctica? Yes. Guys, absolutely anything's possible, but what we know right now, we have to go with Africa being the mother country. I have kids that are like, oh, I've heard certain groups of people, Miss, call it the mother country. No, it's the mother country for everybody. Because as of right now, that's where humanity came from. Now, I'm not telling you from here. This is where the oldest bones have been found. Maybe it's up here. Maybe it's over here. But the oldest bones in history have been found in Africa. That's the way it is. Huh. Guys, in this class, and I always have some kids, and that's why I'm saying this now, who get real touchy when we talk about race. Oh, miss, I don't think we're supposed to talk about that. I teach people and I teach cultures and we discuss race. We have to. And it makes people so uncomfortable. I don't know why. I love different cultures. And I love, hey, gorgeous, different people groups. Freya just walked in. And I love different types of people. One of my best friends is Hispanic. I showed you to her. Her husband is Black. And I love them. I'm as white as they come. And I love them. Hey, sweetie. My little Freya is coming. There she is. And look at my little Freya. My gorgeous girl. Can you say hi, Freya? She said no. I don't like being on camera. So just understand, we do deal with race. We have to and we should. And I don't know why that's a surprise in a world history class, but we do. We have to. That's the way it is. That being said, Africa, historically speaking, is so important. Humanity, as far as we know, comes from there. And then it branches out. Uh-oh, I lost my arrow. Where did my arrow go? Oh man. I lose this arrow over here sometimes and I can't change pictures. I don't know why. So sometimes I just have to X out and start over. I don't know, it's weird. This right here is a basic migration map. You will see this again on your test. This right here is a basic migration map. Okay, again, could we be totally wrong? Yeah. But as of right now, this is what we know. Okay, the oldest human bodies have been found in this area, Africa. Okay, and then they get a little bit older up here. Now, this is where civilization starts. People, nomadic people, are roaming around here. But then we actually have civilization here, cities and stuff. And then, of course, during the Ice Age, we know about the Neanderthal people who live up here. And then you see here people are coming into India, China, and then, of course, up north. Okay. And then you see this right here. You see Japan, yes. Then you see this right here. This is what people call the Bering Strait, the land bridge, whatever you learned it. It used to be covered, and so the theory is that people just migrated over this way. Why? Because they were like, I'm going to America. No, they didn't even know it was a thing. They didn't even know they were going somewhere else. They're following animals. Okay. And then, of course, they come down and down and down and down. And then, of course, the Polynesian peoples, Polynesians, Moana, Polynesians, they come this way and then they'll take their ships and like Hawaii and all this good stuff, Samoa, New Zealand, all that good stuff. Okay, dokie. So this is your basic migration map. All right. Okay, which again puts, did I lose my arrow? There it is again. There we go. Which again puts Africa in a real central position. Okay. Okay. Artifacts or fossil? You should be answering these questions. Artifact or fossil? Artifact or fossil? Artifact or fossil? Artifact or fossil? Trick question. Did you get it right? Artifact or fossil? Artifact or fossil? Artifact or fossil? A little bit of a trick question. Oof. Artifact or fossil? Are you answering these? Artifact or fossil? Artifact or fossil? Artifact or fossil? Artifact or fossil? Oh, dang. Artifact or fossil? Okay, listen. During the Paleolithic period, okay, for the most part, like I told you, people are hunter gathering nomads. Okay. They're roaming around. This is when you hear about like cavemen and stuff like that. Um, okay. Most groups lived in clans, small clans. A clan is a tribe, but smaller number. Okay. And typically a clan is all related. You might have the grandfather of the group who's like 40, and then you might have, the dad who's 20 or 25 or something, and then you'll have like 5 kids. Where's the mom? Well, if there's 5 kids, she probably died. How? Childbirth. Typically, kids tend to think that the women are going to outlive the men in prehistoric periods, but that's not really true. Yes, the men are out hunting. Yes, it feels like the men would have a more like dangerous life back then, but in actuality, the women are dying more than the men because of childbirth. Absolutely. And even if they do give birth well and everything's okay, complications, bleeding occurs sometimes, and they couldn't stop the bleeding in some cases. So, all kinds of lovely stuff. So that being said, childbirth was really rough on women back then. I mean, I think it's probably rough today, but back then, oh my gosh, I don't even want to try. So childbirth was a mess. That being said, in that Rift Valley of Africa in the 1960s, you had this group of people. One of them, okay, I've got a piece of hair in the leg. Okay, one of them, can I leave this page? Oh my gosh, this piece of hair is like, okay. One of them was her and her husband, Mr. and Mrs. Leakey. Mr. and Mrs. Leakey, Mary Leakey. Okay. Oh, here they are. This is a famous picture of them. You'll see this picture a lot of them. The other person was this guy. Oh. Well, okay. I was going to click on a picture, but okay, this works. There was an older picture that I was specifically looking for. that I thought would come up like first, and of course it didn't. Oh, here we go. There we go. Donald Johanson. This right here, Donald Johanson, okay, and then Mary Leakey and whatever her husband was, the other couple I just showed you. Guys, they were in the African Rift Valley in the 1960s, all right? And they found a bone. Now, technically, Mary Leakey found a bone. Mary found it. She did. She takes this bone to Donald Johanson, the anthropologist guy, okay? And then they find more bones and more bones and more bones in this one little area. Not nice and neat in a grave, just kind of scattered around. They put the bones together, and it looks like this. Okay, this right here. Okay, there's a whole lot of that body missing. A lot of that body missing. You don't see the whole skull here. You certainly don't see the whole arm. You don't see the shoulder, like this whole thing, whatever this is right here. You don't see any of that. This down here, this right here. They put it together though, and they said, this is a female. How the crap do they know that? Well, you actually can tell because of this right here. The pelvic bone, right here. Now I'm sure there's other ways anthropologists can tell, but the pelvic bone is kind of a dead giveaway. It's lucky they have one of the two. Because there should be one right here. Without being gross, girls, your pelvic bone looks like this, okay? It flares out this way, out. And it kind of is like this, okay? Boys, yours doesn't flare out, and it's a little bit more of like this shape. Girls, ours goes a little bit more like this so that we can get a baby out, okay? Girls' pelvic bones are very different from boys' pelvic bones. So they could look at this right here, which is like, I don't even think that's a third. Is that a third of our bones? I don't think so. But they looked at this and they said, oh, pelvic bone, boom, it's a woman. It's a woman. Cool. They also can tell her dates, how long ago she lived. It's called radiocarbon dating. Are there some questions today about if radiocarbon dating works? Yes. Yes, there's some people that say it's not accurate, it doesn't work, something's wrong. Again, based on what we know right now, we have to go by it. That's all we know right now. But you can check dates and look and see how old these bones were. I will tell you this, whenever they found out how old those bones were, they were like, no. Anyway, let's check again. No, second time. That's not right. Let's check again. I wanted to make sure I had it right. What? Okay. There are two very different viewpoints about history and about like how long the earth has been going and all kinds of stuff. One group of people say the earth is 4.6 billion years old. And humans have been on this earth for at least 3.2 million years. The other group of people say, no, only a few thousand years. One is the creationist theory, one is the not creationist theory. Guys, whichever you believe is fine. If you look at this date and you're more on the creationist side and you're like, that ain't right. The Bible says this, then stick to that. If you go with this date and say, yep, we're 4.6 billion years old, I believe in all this stuff, boom, then stick with that. What we do know is they named her Lucy. She is the oldest human bones that we have found to date. Now listen to me, human bones. I'm not discussing monkey evolution, that's for biology class or whatever. We deal with humans in this class, okay? Her bones come up as human. I've had kids in the past who have come to me and said, okay, wait, I got some questions. Because Lucy's 3.2 million years old. That's not what I was taught. I believe in God and stuff. How do I reconcile this? I don't have an answer for you. If that's what you believe, stick to it, man. Don't change stuff just because of one thing. I will tell you, on Wednesday nights, I teach 5th and 6th grade girls at a church. And the fact that her bones are pretty old, it doesn't affect any of my beliefs in any way, shape, or form. None of them. Okay. She is the oldest human we have found to date. Does it mean she's the oldest human that has ever existed? Because I've also had that question. So could that be Eve of Adam and Eve? I mean, it could be, but does it matter? Does it matter? I don't know. I guess I'm just much more like, I don't need to know. You know what I mean? Than some of y'all are. Some of y'all are so every year, like, I need to know. Yeah. But she's probably not the first human. Okay. But she's the oldest that we found to date. Now, I have heard that they have started finding more in the same Rift Valley. She's a type of human called an Australopithecine. And I've heard that they've started finding more Australopithecine in this valley that are older than her. But guys, that's like just been discovered. So has it been proven? No. You have to like test her a million times to see if it's accurate. The name, Lucy. That's not her name. We don't know her name. Her name was probably or something, because they kind of grunt. But we call her Lucy because the people who found her, they didn't want to just keep calling her, the girl that we found. And so they were like, I have an idea. We're listening to this song right now by the Beatles. Oh man, I hate when that happens. Hey there. This song right here, the Beatles, Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds. And that song was playing in the background, and they were like, dude, let's call her Lucy. So they start calling her Lucy. Again, whether she's the oldest human or not, doesn't really matter. She's the oldest human bones that have been found to this date. Okay. And then human bones have been found later. That being said, something else happens. What you're looking at here, what continent is this? What about this? What about this? Lucy was found somewhere down here. What about this? What about this monster? What about this? What about this? Okay. Right here. Why is all this white? Well, something happened. There was an ice age. Guys, we're going to talk about another little ice age in the medieval period. Guys, we do experience a natural ebb and flow, a change, an up and a down of climate. We do see that. Now, this is drastic. Okay, this was a drastic cooling down of the earth. Why? I don't know. I don't know. I study people. I don't know. But I will tell you, there were people living up here. Okay. They're a different type of human from like Lucy. She's an Australopithecine human. That after Lucy, you have a group of human called Homo habilis, and you have all these other groups. Then you have this group of people up here called the Neanderthal. It's not Neanderthal. Oh, that drives me crazy. It's a German word, Neanderthal. The Neanderthal, that's who you see in the movie Ice Age, the little cartoon movies. Okay. And so they lived during this time up here. Yeah. But then as the ice age starts to kind of go away, the world starts to get warm again, the Neanderthals start to kind of go away. We used to think, and I will tell you this, history changes all the time. It's not a bunch of names, dates, and facts. It's a bunch of names, dates, and theories and opinions that change often. Because, see, when I was in school, we were told that us humans, Homo sapien, they're called Cro-Magnon man, but that's okay. But us, Homo sapien, okay, killed off all the Neanderthal because they were weird than us. They were different. We killed them all. You know what the theory is now? We mixed with them. Could we have killed them? Yeah. Could some people have mixed with them? Yeah. I don't know. But after the ice age is really when us, our kind of human, and the difference in the different type of humans are like not massive differences. It's like one stands with their back up instead of hunched over. So anyway, it gets real complicated, but I just noticed this. Look at that. Look at this map of South Africa or America. I wonder if that's just extra ice over here. I never really noticed that it's wrong because it should come in like this. I have a lot of squirrel moments, and that was one of them. I just noticed that. Interesting. But after the ice age starts to melt away, humans discover something. And that is going to change how we live. Where is it? There it is. Big time. They discover how to farm. Okay, listen. We think it was an accident. We don't think anybody actually said, I'm going to go put a seed in the ground and watch it grow. We think it was a total accident. And most historians actually think it was the women who discovered farming because the women weren't paying that much attention to the animals. The men are. The women are paying attention to the plants as they gather. But regardless, somebody discovers how to farm. You put a seed in the ground and crap grows. Yes. Why does that cause a whole change in how people live? Well, if I have a farm, I have food, and I don't have to roam around as much. I can actually build a house where a farm is. I don't have to follow animals with a tent. I build a house with the farm right here, and my husband can go out for 2 weeks and follow animals and come back with a whole bunch of meat. Yes. You can stay in one place now. That's a huge change from the nomadic lifestyle of the Paleolithic period. People are starting to discover how to farm things. And because of that, they're staying in one place. That leads us to the new Stone Age, the Neolithic period. Okay, the beginning of farming. With the beginning of farming, oh, I just noticed these mistakes. Oops, -1. Guys, with the beginning of farming, yes, crops fail. Yes, there could be an unexpected freeze and we lose all of our crops. Yes, farming is not guaranteed food in any way, shape, or form. But it is a little bit more guaranteed than, oh, I hope I catch that giant mammoth or whatever the crap it is that we're running after. Okay. I hope I catch that, whatever, saber-toothed tiger or whatever it is to eat. It is a little bit more sure than that. With a slightly more sure set of food, people are eating better. With people eating better, they're going to live a little bit longer. With people living a little bit longer, population goes up. With a better food, nutrition, we also have something else happening. Ladies have better nutrients, and so they aren't dying every 2 seconds in childbirth. That's good. So we're seeing population slowly start to go up once the Neolithic period starts. This is such a massive change that we actually refer to it as the Neolithic Revolution. The word revolution has nothing to do with a government that is overthrown. The word revolution is simply a drastic change. That's it. The reason we refer to those new governments as revolutions is because there's a change in government. The word revolution just means change. All right? That being said, the way that they're doing their farming is very basic, you guys. There isn't like plows really yet. There is no like getting deep into the ground. They're taking basic seeds and just like, and hoping it grows. They do discover something called slash and burn, which you should have talked about last year, where basically you cut down trees and crap in the area, you set them on fire. The ashes actually fertilize the soil. Did they understand what they were doing? No. They knew it made farming better. Did they know why? No. They just knew it worked. Okay. They also are going to start using animals. Guys, farming is hard physical work. Physical. And we need help. Because let's be honest, we're kind of lazy sometimes. So if we can teach a horse how to do something, or an ox how to pull something, or a dog how to round up something, or a pig, or whatever, we can teach those animals to work for us. Then we have domesticated them. People tend to think today, in today's world, 2020, that domestication means my dog won't pee in the house. No, domestication means you trained them to work for you. Of course, it has a different meaning today, but back then, that was the idea. If you had domesticated wolves, you had a dog. Yeah, that's where your dogs come from. My cute, sweet little Pekingese dogs. They came from some wolf somewhere. Whoa, think about that for a minute. Once we have our farms and we're settled in one place, everything changes. We move from prehistory to history.